So, meron tayong turo ko sa inyo yung mga useful strategies and then i-apply natin siya sa mga examples. So, ang very important yung paragraph organization is a test of logic on how you logically arrange the thoughts, the sentences, and how you arrive at a coherent paragraph. So, it's a test of in a way, it's a test of logic. It's on how you arrange thoughts. So, ano yung mga useful strategies? I-list down mo natin useful strategies. Then after listing down, we will go through examples. So first strategy is most useful strategy is to identify key sentences. So itong mga techniques na to, maraming nahihirapan sa paragraph organization kasi hindi nila, kumbaga hindi sila familiar sa mga useful strategies. Maraming things to watch out for. Kumbaga, kasi yung paragraph organization, pag nagsagot ka lang ng nagsagot without thinking through, ano nga bang mga techniques dito, mga pwedeng indicators para makatulong sa akin sa pag-determine. Mas madali siya pag naalam nyo yung mga techniques. So, first and foremost, first bucket of techniques is yung key sentences. So, una, finding the opening sentence. So, paano nyo, usually, yung opening sentence, they are most of the time introducing a topic, introducing a, like, introducing an idea or, 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 or something else na it's an introduction basically. And one thing that you will notice, it's a standalone sa opening sentence. What do you mean standalone? Ibig sabihin, the sentence is not referring to any other sentence. Kasi kung yung sentence halimbawa nagsisimula sa phrase na as you can see, ibig sabihin hindi na siya opening kasi nagsisimula siya sa as you can see, so hindi siya standalone. So halimbawa, kung yung sentence din gumagamit ng pronouns, say nakalagay sa first sentence, he processed the information. Hindi na siya pwedeng maging opening kasi sino si he, right? So, yun yung mga kailangan stand-alone yung opening sentence. So, later magka-practice tayo sa pag-identify niyan. So, meron ding makikita nyo rin madalas, ang isang technique din is hanapin yung closing sentence. Sa sense nyo, yung mga closing sentence, most of the time, nagko-conclude siya. Nagbibigay siya ng conclusion. Nakalagay directly sometimes in summary or therefore as a result. So, summarize niya yung thoughts ng buong paragraph. So, yun yung mga closing sentence. So, these are the two main sentences to watch out for, the opening and closing. Another key sentences is yung concept ng pairs na pag-identify. What do we mean by pairs? Kasi minsan yung mga paragraph, makikita nyo na meron siyang pairs of, for example, merong problem sentence and there is a solution sentence. So, sa pag-identify ng sentences na yon, sentence pair, malalaman nyo, syempre, yung problem, mauuna siya sa paragraph bago yung solution. So, pag na-identify nyo, solution sentence to, a problem sentence to. So, mauna yung problem before yung solution. So, minsan naman, may mga, halimbawa, pair ng argument, counter-argument. For example, may mga arguments na against a particular topic, may mga arguments na pros against that. So, makikita nyo yan sa pairing ng sentences. And lastly, merong mga, sa key sentences tayo, merong mga sequences, merong mga halimbawa chronological na sentences. Pinakamadali pag may nakalagay sa first, second, third, right? So, yun yung madaling i-arrange, right? Kasi naka-chronological na siya. So, minsan naman, chain of thought, yung paragraph nagde-describe siya halimbawa how to brew beer or how to bake a cake, right? So, or how does a law come into effect, right? Paano ina-approve siya ng Congress. So, meron siyang sequence of events, meron siyang chain of events na makikita nyo dun sa paragraph pa lang by just looking into it. May mga indicators yan. So, yun yung mga key sentences. Meron din tayong mga ito importante rin is in addition to identifying key sentences, at the same time finding pronouns and signals. So, nabanggit ko kanina yung pronouns. Makikita nyo ngayon yung pronouns, for example, pag may nakita kayo na he, she, it, they, remember, pronoun is a substitute for a noun. Ibig sabihin, yung noun na tinutukoy ng pronoun na mention na in the previous sentence. Right? So, kung merong halimbawa, nakalagay sa sentence na he, hindi na siya pwede maging first sentence kasi sino nagre-refer sa he? Or pag may day na nakalagay, sino nagre-refer sa day? Right? Ano yung antecedent nung ano yung saan nagre-refer yung pronoun na yan? Kasi nire-replace lang niya yung noun, right? So, hindi siya pwede maging first sentence. Hindi rin siya pwede mag-come after nung sentence na nandun yung noun na tinutukoy niya. So, later we'll go through an example. Yan. Also, the same case for demonstrative pronoun. Pag may sentence na nagsabi, these findings, these findings show and so on. So, ma-sense nyo rin na, hindi to first sentence or sumusunod lang to sa sentence na to. And ito, very important, causal signal. Yung mga therefore, thus, and thens. Usually ito, makikita nyo to sa mga closing sentences or minsan pwede rin sa interim sentences. Depende. So, pero nagsisignal to na may sentences before it. Merong chain of thoughts before it. Merong logic before it. Contrast. So, itong contrast naman, meron siyang contrasting two ideas. So, merong first sentence na na-mention, then merong however, but. So, alam mo na kapag yung idea ng sentence na yon is kind of a contrast to the another sentence, ibig sabihin, magkasunod sila. Kasunod tong sentence na may contrasting signal. And finally, meron kang transition like furthermore, additionally, ibig sabihin, may mga gusto pang sabihin, may mga kasunod na sentence. So, try natin i-practice yung mga useful strategies na to. Paano ba natin gagamitin yung mga key sentences and signals, pronouns and signals. Example 1. Ayan. Okay? Yeah. So, sige, i-digest nyo muna tong example 1. Bigyan ko kayo a few seconds to digest. Alright? So, ano yung unang sentence natin? So, maraming approaches, okay? So, hindi lang ito yung only approach, pero this is how I usually approach it, or usually I find the opening sentence. But in this case, the first clue here would be closing. Ano sa tingin niyo yung closing sentence? Right? Ano sa tingin niyo yung closing sentence? Closing sentence, siya yung nagko-conclude. Kumbaga, sinasummarize niya lahat ng mga thoughts. Right? Pag tinignan nyo dito, ano ba yung sentence na parang siya yung nagsasummarize sa lahat? Right? Pag binasa nyo, makikita nyo may mga habits, regular exercise, may getting enough sleep. All of them are habits. Makita nyo yung letter C, meron kang by combining these habits, individuals can significantly. Ibig sabihin, ito yung concluding mo. Kasi ito yung nagsasummarize ng by combining these habits. Yun yung signal mo na, okay, sinasummarize na yung mga ibang sentences. This is a closing sentence. So this is your final sentence. So this is just one way. So you could also go find the opening sentence first, or you could find the closing first, whichever is easier. So whatever works. So now that you found the closing sentence, ano yung next natin? Now, yung next natin, pwede nating hanapin yung opening. Ano sa tingin yung opening sentence? So opening sentence is more of a general idea, more of an introduction. So as you could see here, the more general idea here is letter B. Bakit siya naging letter B? Kasi yung letter B talks about healthy lifestyle, requiring exercise, requiring adequate sleep. And kumbaga, siya na yung pinaka-general idea na introductory na standalone. Yung A and D, makikita nyo na ini-elaborate lang niya yung letter B, right? Kasi letter B generalizes the healthy lifestyle, including sleep, exercise, and letter A elaborates on that, on letter B. Letter A elaborates the regular exercise. Letter D elaborates the part of getting enough sleep. So letter B is the opening sentence kasi siya yung mas general, and the rest of the sentences A, D are supporting details for letter B, right? So the rest sila kumbaga elaboration no kung ano yung mga na-mention sa letter B na general idea. Now, so that's letter B. Ang question, between A and D, sino yung mauuna, right? Between A and D. Ano yung trick dito? Anong pwede nyong gamitin? Pwede nyong gamitin yung transition signal. Anong transition signal? Kasi may nakalagay na additionally. Additionally, ibig sabihin, siya yung kasunod na na-mention, right? Ibig sabihin, mauuna ma-mention si letter A bago ma-mention si D kasi with the transition signal na additionally. So yun yung keyword nyo dito. So yun yung mga kinahanapin nyo. So additionally is the second. So lagay natin siya dito. So now letter A should come first before the letter D. So we're left with the BADC. Okay? So yun yung approach. Okay? Okay tayo dito sa example na to. Right? So B, A, D, and C concluding. So to summarize, letter B discusses about healthy lifestyle and what are the components of healthy lifestyle: regular exercise, adequate sleep, and then A and D supports sentence B, sharing supporting details. A talks about exercise, D talks about getting enough sleep. D could have come before letter A, but because of the word additionally, siya yung pangalawa na supporting detail. Kaya A muna bago D. Pero kung walang additionally, kung may ibang wording, pwedeng maging B, D, A, C. Pero since merong additionally, B, A, D, C. So, bakit huli si C? Kasi siya yung concluding remarks. Kumbaga, sinasabi niya, by combining these habits, so yung sa nagre-refer yung these, sa mga na-mention na habits. So nagre-refer siya meron kang pronoun na nagre-refer sa mga previously mentioned components ng maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Kaya siya yung closing sentence. Okay? Next example. Sige, bigyan ko kayo ng few seconds to digest. Alright, sige, let's start. So, ano ngayon yung so dito, again, there's no correct approach depending on what makes sense. So in this case, I think, at least for me, my style is usually find the opening first. So I think the opening, what do you think is the opening here? Actually, ano ba yung merong general idea? Ano ba yung merong, kumbaga ano lang, stand-alone general idea introducing the whole paragraph, right? So, many of you are saying letter B yung, which is correct. Pwede nyo rin ma-determine na pag tinignan nyo kasi dito, bakit siya naging letter B? Kahit hindi nyo, kung halimbawa nalito kayo, alin ba dito may general idea? Kumbaga nahirapan kayo sa part na yon. Meron pa kayo isang pwedeng technique na gamitin, pronouns. So sa pronouns, isipin nyo si Si letter B, general idea. Assuming hindi nyo pa alam si letter B. Pag tinignan nyo, hindi ka naman pwede magsimula sa by doing so, right? Hindi pwede kasi by doing so, wait lang. Hindi pwede magsimula by doing so, right? So, it's following something. So, wala na yung D. By elimination tayo, pwede rin. Kung nalito kayo sa paghanap ng general idea sa opening. Sa letter C naman, meron siyang pronoun na it, right? Kung siya yung mauuna, ano yung it? Sinong antecedent? Pag antecedent, sino yung noun na sinasubstitute ni it na pronoun, right? Antecedent yung tawag doon. Sinong antecedent ng it, right? So hindi siya pwede mauna. So hindi pwede si C, hindi pwede si D. Si A, nakalagay, these are usually these. So meron ka na namang pronouns. So sino yung these, right? So hindi pwede rin mauna si A kasi meron kang pronoun dito. So sinong antecedent ng pronoun? Wala kang antecedent kasi wala ka pang sentence. So now you're left with B. So which is expressing also the general idea of public sector investment is crucial for national development. Now, next part. Yan, ano yung next natin? So paano natin malalaman ano yung next natin na na paragraph? So na sentence, sorry. So sa next sentence natin, usually ang ginagawa ko dito pwede kayong diretso sa closing. So ako kasi usually style ko opening then closing. Pero minsan makes sense na yung second sentence. So let's check kung meron ba tayong makikita na closing. So in terms of closing, meron ba ditong parang closing remark na kumbaga ano pa yung mga ibang key sa closing, right? Closing is concluding something or summarizing something. Ang isa pang technique na pwede nyo gamitin is causal, right? Kumbaga, ngayon, after saying the whole paragraph is again talking about public sector investment, right? Public sector investment, so the whole paragraph talks about it. Now, ano yung result nun? Ano yung effect? The cost is the public sector investment. Ano yung ultimate effect? Usually, makikita nyo sa dulo ng paragraph. So, in this case, that concluding remark is particularly you could sense from the word by doing so, it aims to improve the quality of life and stimulate economic growth. So this is the ultimate result of everything that's discussed in the paragraph. Okay? So, that's your letter D, yung last naman. Again, it doesn't necessarily na closing muna yung hanapin nyo, opening then closing. That's just a style. So you could find the second, the third, and before the last, whichever you think makes sense and whichever logic helps you more. Okay? Right. All right. Now, punta tayo dito sa between the two, A and C. Ano ngayon yung sino mauuna? Si C or si A? Actually, this is kind of tricky, right? Paano natin ma-determine kung si C ba or si A? Isipin nyo lang, ang technique natin dito is the most common technique is pronoun. Public sector investment, pag sinundan natin siya ng these, saan nagre-refer si these, right? These, ibig sabihin, plural to, di ba? Plural yung these. Pero, kung B, kasunod niya ay A, ibig sabihin nun, si these, nagre-refer siya sa public sector investment, which is wrong kasi public sector investment is singular. Hindi siya investments. Public sector investment, so that is singular. So, hindi pwede si these na nagre-refer sa public sector investment. Hindi siya pwedeng antecedent yung public sector investment. Ibig sabihin, si B, hindi niya dapat kasunod si A. Kasi si A, hindi yung pronoun niya, hindi nagre-refer sa noun ni B. So, ibig sabihin, ang kasunod ni B is si C. Si C yung kasunod ni B. Bakit si C? Kasi makikita nyo dyan, meron kang pronoun na it. So, yung it, the it gives it away na public sector investment, that's the noun. Ano yung antecedent ni it? Ano yung tinutukoy ni it na noun? it refers to the public sector investment. So si B, pwede niyang kasunod si C. So public sector investment is crucial. It involves government spending directed towards public services. So so ano na yung sunod? So syempre meron na lang tayong A. So A yung kasunod. So as you could see, the 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 D's in letter A actually refer to the public services, which is plural. Kaya meron kang D's in plural form. Okay? So kaya ang answer is B, C, A, D. And then so to summarize, meron kang uh, general idea sentence, public sector investment is crucial. And then C elaborates on that, and you could sense that it's the next one kasi meron kang it. And then the next one after that is the elaborating on public services. These are usually in the form of infrastructure projects and social programs. And then finally, conclude with D. D is conclusive na ano ba yung magiging causal, like after doing all this government spending, public services, infrastructure projects, social programs, ano yung result? What's the cause and effect? So by doing so, this is the concluding remarks. It aims to improve quality of life and stimulate economic growth, right? So that's the order B, C, A, D. So this again, class requires practice. And i-review nyo lang yung mga techniques. Pero meron pa tayong isang example. I-review nyo lang yung mga techniques na nandito habang maganda siguro meron kayong printed, or not printed, like a screenshot on your phone on the techniques. And you could always go back in the lessons in the app kung nasa questions kayo, nagpa-practice, balik lang kayo sa lessons, makikita nyo doon yung mga techniques. Okay? So, next example tayo. Example 3. Last example. So, by the way, dito sa paragraph organization, challenging to actually this is a challenging, I would say, now that I think about it, mas mahirap siya kaysa reading comprehension. Kasi sa reading comprehension, babalikan mo yung passage, malalaman mo yung sagot. Or intindihin mo yung passage, malalaman mo yung sagot. Dito maraming logic involved and minsan maraming gray area. Minsan minsan parang tama yung isa or mali yung parang tama sila pareho. Maraming ganong cases. Even ako dito sa part na to nung napaisip ako dito, o nga, ano nga bang kasunod dito sa BCAD or BACD? Medyo natagalan din ako dito mag-isip ng konti eh. So this number 2 is challenging example. Number 3, example number 3. Sige, take time to read. All right. Okay? So ano sa tingin nyo yung opening sentence? So this one, mas okay yung opening sentence approach. I think it's the best approach here. What do you think? And meron pa tayong isang technique na pwede nyo combine. Opening general, ano ba dito yung may general idea? And pwede nyo rin tignan yung pairs. Ano ba yung pairs na binanggit natin kanina? Remember, isa sa mga common pairs sa paragraph organization, meron kang problem and then meron kang solution. Usually, nauuna i-mention yung problem. Hindi ka naman nag-mention ng solution, pero wala pa yung problem, right? So, in this case, the problem statement is actually the same as the opening, stating the general idea, the problem, and that is letter D. Water pollution has become a serious issue. So this is the whole topic, water pollution. This is an issue, water pollution is an issue. So that's the general idea. So everything in the paragraph talks about how to solve the water issue, what's the implication, but this is the overall idea. What is the water pollution? That's the problem. Now, So that's the first sentence. What's the second sentence? What do you think? Second sentence. Actually, this one is a bit confusing, right? Because you would think, well, there's a problem. Why don't you just state the solution directly, right? Letter B, one effective solution is to implement stricter regulations, right? Pwedeng, pag inisip ko rin yan eh, ano, bakit between, obviously not C. Kasi this approach, sino si this? Si water pollution? Hindi. This approach is the water pollution, so definitely not C. So now we're left with A or B. Ano ba dapat mauna? Si A or B? Alam na natin na hindi si C, so useful din mag-eliminate kasi si this approach refers to the solution, not the problem. So wala na si C. Between B and A, ano yung mas okay na kasunod ni D? Now, ang ano dito, ang kailangan nyo tandaan, maganda, dapat yung flow is smooth. Kasi kung halimbawa, nag-mention ka ng problem, nag-mention ka ng solution, tapos A, take note, A is kind of like saying, okay, the problem gets worse. The problem gets worse. So parang gugulo yung thoughts. There's a problem, this is the solution, but then the problem gets worse, and then you're back to the approach with C, right? This is the approach. So dun ka muna sa water pollution, and then ang kailangan nyo tandaan dito is yung contrast. Like, water pollution has become an issue, problem statement, and then may contrast without proper action. Pag wala kang ginawa, the problem would worsen. That makes more sense in terms of the logical flow. Instead of saying the problem, solution, problem, solution. And yeah, tama yung sabi dito, more specific, one effective solution. Yeah. So later on dadating yung solution once na state mo na yung problem, and basically this is saying what's the consequence kapag wala kang ginawa, and makikita mo dito yung contrast without proper action. This is the contrast. So with proper action, so that's A. So yung next natin is this is yung balik tayo sa pair. Doon tayo sa effective solution. One effective solution is to implement stricter regulations. So kasi take note, hindi natin pwede maging kasunod ni A si C kasi because of this approach, hindi pa natin na-enumerate ano yung approach. So one effective solution is to, so yun yung next natin na sentence, DAB. So one effective solution is to implement stricter regulations. So now, then finally, alam na natin yung ka-pair siya ng problem, solution. Isa na lang yung left, and it makes sense din yung pronoun, right? So this approach, meaning referring to the effective solution, one effective solution. It's your letter C. So to summarize, you started with a problem. Then meron kang contrast. If you don't do anything about the problem, that's letter A. And then that this will happen if you don't do anything. That's statement A. Then sentence B, now this is how you solve the problem. And then sentence C elaborates more on what are the benefits of that solution, the letter B solution. So D, A, B, C. Okay?